Hello again, everyone, and we're back. This is Couch Coaching, and this is Jimmy. I'm Vincent. Today we're going to be talking about the week 1 through 4 matchups for the Pittsburgh Steelers, and this far for the 2012 season. And thus far, the Steelers are 2-1 in the preseason, and they have looked fabulous, phenomenal with their record. Their week 1 matchup will be against the Denver Broncos. My associate Jimmy is going to tell you about the 2011 stats, offensive and defensive stats that the Pittsburgh Steelers had.
All right, with the offense, Pittsburgh 2011 yards a game was 324, rushing yards 128, points 29, passing yards 195. Their defense, yards they give up 336, rushing that they give up 85, points they give up 18, passing yards they give up 251. Now, everyone who watches us regularly knows that I'm a Steelers fan. It's not a secret. I'm actually looking forward to this little segment right here because, well, when it comes down to week 3, I know I'm jumping ahead, but I can't wait to talk about it. So, Vince, what do you think about week 1's matchup against Denver?
Well, the week 1 matchup against Denver is going to be very interesting because, the Steelers, again, they've looked fabulous in the preseason, and they'll be having that week 1 matchup against Denver, and he knows just as well as all the rest of the Steeler Nation knows out there that last year, Denver left a bad taste in your mouth. From that playoff loss. We know you're not going to be able to have Clark on the field because of his health situation. So it's going to be interesting to see how Peyton Manning tries to attack the Pittsburgh Steelers defense. Now, the only concern that I really have, and I think that because this is a week 1 matchup, this is going to be a Sunday night matchup. I feel like Pittsburgh has enough to win it. Now, Mike Wallace will be on the field, but I don't see Mike Wallace doing a whole lot.
And as for everyone in Steeler Nation knows, Mike Wallace is holding out, which is fine. He's already said he's going to be back. Me personally, I like Antonio Brown.
Right. Brown's look really good too.
Is a more versatile receiver. Now, don't get me wrong about Mike Wallace's skills. He can easily, even if he doesn't know the playbook, all Ben's got to do is tell him to go straight down the field.
Right.
Just
take the cap off.
Just run, because he's got speed. I'm not even going to deny that. Anybody can't deny that. He's got speed. So with Antonio Brown, I like him too. So with this matchup, offensive-wise against Denver's defense, I think Denver's going to have a problem. The only thing I can foresee offense-wise when it comes to us is that everyone knows Rashard Mendenhall is
he's off the PUP list, but he's not on the actual roster.
He's doing it day by day because of that Achilles that that ACL that he tore.
Right.
I like Isaac Redmond though. He's looking good.
He's looking really good, right?
So he's showing so far throughout the preseason that he's able to take that workload.
Right.
And with Jonathan Dreyer, he's doing a great job as his backup, showing that hey, look, if he can't, I can.
Right.
So the running game is going to be the only thing that I can think of that'll be suspect.
Right.
And Todd Haley, I had to admit, whenever they told me at the end of last year that he was going to be replacing Bruce Arians, I was actually very, very weary about that because wherever Todd Haley goes, conversation follows.
Right.
But he's done a great job of just following the strengths of the team and not pushing too much and actually taking his team in a new direction.
Well, I'm not going to say it's necessarily a new direction. I think they're going back to the Steelers' direction.
Technically that would be a new direction.
Right.
Bruce Arians was
air
the ball out. Rooney has already said that he wanted to get Ben not to take so many hits to really just let's run the ball more. When this league is a strictly pass first league,
right.
Very few teams are running the ball hardly at all.
Right, not as much as they used to.
Right.
And I think the real problem that could be a problem is the loss of David DeCastro. He was lost for the season. He had multiple injuries around his knee. Dislocated calf, sprained MCL. He had a lot of stuff going on. I think it was a sprain or a torn. I'm not sure, but he's gone for the season. So, will they be able to protect Ben from Von Miller and Elvis Dumerville from the outside rush?
I think they'll be. I think it'll be a test,
Right.
But just like it was last year.
You're right.
We changed that offensive line so much. I mean, we even brought that Max Starks in week 4 because after week 3's loss to the Texans, we knew we needed some more help.
Right.
So I mean, they got him off of the out of him being at home, just sitting on the couch, wanting someone to call to see if they say, look, we need you. So who they bring back? They brought that Matt Starks.
Right.
So if there's any team out there that I have confidence in on changing up, it's really them.
Right.
I think the only other problem that Steelers are probably going to have with this game is going to be their defense.
Right.
The loss of Ryan Clark because he cannot play in Mile High because of health conditions.
Right.
I think that would be the only thing because Troy Polamalu likes to do whatever he wants to do.
He
likes the versatility of Ryan Clark behind him.
Right.
So Peyton Manning is probably not going to get as much rushed on him than what he would normally see if he'd been playing at Heinz Field or anywhere else.
So I think we're both in agreement that the Pittsburgh Steelers should win this Week 1 matchup, but it's going to be I think it's going to be a close, hard fought contest.
I agree.
But I feel like Pittsburgh is going to win that Week 1 matchup. The Week 2 matchup is going to be against the New York Jets, and Pittsburgh is going to win that easy.
I agree. I think, really honestly, I think they just want to get that taste of Tim Tebow because of what he did to them in that week. And in that first round playoff game last season, but with their whole system, I mean, with their quarterback situation and and their whole deal, I really don't see them putting up a whole lot of struggle.
The problem with the Jets is that man, I mean the Week 3 matchup will be later on tonight because we're taping this show on what's today's date, the 26th. So they'll have their Week 3 matchup later on tonight, and they still have not scored an offensive touchdown. That's a problem.
That is a big problem.
That's a problem for the New York Jets.
And the other problem is as well is Darrelle Revis coming out saying he's the second best wide receiver under Santonio Holmes on the Revis is a defensive player.
Right.
So if your second best wide receiver is a defensive player,
what does that say about the rest of the team? Look. Like, we're not here to talk about the Jets.
Yeah.
But that's just this just shows you how easy this game ought to be.
Yeah.
For the Pittsburgh Steelers, barring any major injuries. So I think we can both agree that they'll be 2-0 after their Week 2 matchup. Now Week 3, the Pittsburgh Steelers will be traveling to Oakland. Big Oakland Raider fan. Any guys that watch the show, you know that. Look. They're traveling to Oakland. They should be 2-0 coming into this game. Look, I'm a big Oakland Raiders fan, but I'm also a realist. Carson Palmer has looked terrible throughout the preseason. He's got 4 interceptions in the preseason. I don't know what he's gonna do once live bullets start flying around.
I don't either.
So, I think that Pittsburgh is gonna win this game. I think it's gonna be a hard fought matchup. And again, as an Oakland Raider fan, as long as we come out to play hard, I don't care.
Yeah, I mean, I realistically, Carson Palmer has seen Pittsburgh his entire career. He played in Cincinnati in 2009, I think is when he got drafted, or 2008 when he got drafted.
No, I'm not sure.
But ever since he got drafted, which he was drafted by Cincinnati, he's seen Pittsburgh twice a year. I mean, this is a team that he's very familiar with. He knows what they can do. He knows who's on the other side of that ball because they've been there his entire career. Troy Polamalu. I mean, that's a free safety right there that really emphasizes the word free.
Right.
He does what he wants to, and Carson Palmer knows that better than anybody.
And then in that game too, because again in Denver, because they play. We forgot to mention this. The Jets game will be at Heinz Field.
Right.
This game will be in Oakland. Now Ryan Clark better play in Oakland because there won't be any altitude problems.
Right.
So again, that's going to allow Troy to be Troy.
Right.
Troy's not going to be able to beat Troy necessarily when they play in Denver because they'll be missing Ryan Clark. Ryan Clark is very important to this Pittsburgh Steelers offense. Make no mistakes. Troy can't beat Troy without Ryan. So it's going to be they'll be full strength against the Oakland Raiders. And I feel like, there's no reason for me not to believe that Pittsburgh can be 3-0 going into their bye week in week 4.
Yeah, I strongly believe that too. I mean, by just looking at their play, I mean, even their week 1 preseason matchup against Philadelphia, they only lost by a point.
Right.
I mean, that's a game where they're building off of rust and everything else. I mean, after that, they've looked really great all the way up to the week 3, 38-7 against Buffalo.
I mean, crushed them.
Yeah, I mean, that defense stepped up. If you go back and look at the defense from last year, they hardly had any interceptions, hardly had any forced fumbles. I mean, now in the preseason,
this defense looks like the old Pittsburgh Steelers defense.
Right, and I mean, and it's hard to believe that it's like that, but that just shows that the versatility of the players that were underneath, the veterans that have left, are stepping up now and filling that spot. You've got Timmons, you've got Sylvester, you've got McLean, who is taking over Hokies spot, and with Hampton being on the not playing the preseason.
Right.
I mean, you've got people stepping up that you would have not thought would have stepped up, and they've done it in a big way. So their defense can easily take care of the offense for the Oakland.
Right.
So I'm going 3-0 going into the bye.
Right. So we both agree that the Pittsburgh Steelers should be 3-0 going into the bye week. And again, after the week 4 matchup, we plan on also doing the weeks 4. It's actually going to be the 5 through 9 matchups.
Yeah.
For the Pittsburgh Steelers. It's going to be interesting to see because they have the earliest bye week that all these teams have because in week 4. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens going forward because normally teams don't want to have a bye week this early in the season. It's like a respite that they have between the season. So it's going to be interesting to see how it affects them going forward. After that bye week, Rashard Mendenhall might be playing against Philadelphia. We don't know.
Yeah.
So, again, I think we both agree. We both agree that Pittsburgh should be 3-0. And again, thanks for coming out, checking us out at Couch Coaching. Please check us out at Couch Coaching 12 on Facebook. And if you have any comments or any questions about this team or any other team that you want to talk about, leave the comments at the bottom of the page. And again, thanks for coming by and have a good one.